Hey, good people. Big Heavy here, and apologies for the fact that I'm sweating like somebody's at the buffet changeover, but it's about 90 degrees outside. I've been working inside the RV all day where it's about 150 million degrees. But I want to walk you through 3 upgrades I've done to the cabin of my Winnebago Navion, which is a Mercedes Sprinter-based RV. And this is, I believe, a 2020 chassis. I think that's kind of what they've been putting out the last few years. So this should apply whether you're, building out a cool van life type deal, or you're another, schlub in an RV like myself. So these 3 upgrades are all electronic. That's kind of because that's the stuff I like and that I'm interested in, and they've helped with kind of the convenience and usability of the van, particularly with me as the driver. So first one is this phone charging type setup. And I've got a little wireless charger from a company called Magback. They're, relatively standard. These things will charge your iPhone, or, I think most of the modern Android type phones use a similar type of process. What I like about the Magback thing is it charges a little more quickly. What I didn't like is their standard mounting is a little magnetic strip that you essentially glue to your dashboard with 3M VHB type tape. And there wasn't a great place to put it on the console of the Sprinter, so I put it in kind of the only obvious place, and that worked okay, except there were 2 problems with that. First of all, it blocked access to the largest cup holder. And this is the cup holder that generally is where I keep my water bottle. It's kind of the only one that fits any of the larger cups. The little one's sort of sized for like Red Bulls and, super small stuff like that, which I don't really use all that much. And I thought it'd be fine. I thought I'd use the cup holder up in the dash, but, just naturally that's kind of where I look for a cup holder. And maybe that's me, maybe that's the rest of the world too. But I wanted to get the phone out of there because the second problem was also a little bit relevant in that that's not a great place to have your phone in terms of line of sight. You're kind of glancing down at your knee versus, keeping your eyes on the road. And I generally don't use my phone when I'm driving since I have CarPlay, which we'll talk about in a few minutes. But I do occasionally like to have that screen on. So, I can have a navigation program running on my phone that's RV specific that kind of looks out for low bridges and that sort of thing. And then have, Apple or Waze running on the dash since that does a better job with traffic and rerouting and all that stuff. Or you can have your, music on your phone so you can skip things forward or backward. That's particularly nice with audiobooks. And then just have your map displaying on the dash of the Sprinter. So I got this cup holder phone mount, and I'll link all this stuff down below in the description. And the current setup where it's kind of squeezing that Magback charger isn't optimal, but I think I'm going to try and 3D print something and use some VHB tape and make this a little more permanent since occasionally it'll pull off. But it does work much better. I can pop into the Sprinter, plop my phone on there, it attaches with magnets, they're amazing, and it charges pretty quickly. It does a much better job than the standard QI type charger, which is hidden in the little box in the Mercedes dash, which I don't particularly love. If I'm getting out, you can pop the phone off, pop it on. It's in line of sight, so if I want to have something on the screen while I'm driving, a navigation thing or something related to audiobooks, that's super easy. That works well. So that combo of the wireless charging and that cup holder thing have worked really, really well. The cup holder mount was pretty cheap. The little flexible arm works reasonably well. I think the only minor complaint I have about this is when you go and put the screens in the windshield to kind of keep the heat out when I'm putting this in storage or staying somewhere overnight. You got to kind of work around the mirror and work around the cup holder thing, but I think it's overall worth it for the convenience and for the easy access and easy charging. Next up is this somewhat awkwardly named Wolfbox rear view mirror. And what I like about this, and I have a whole video that I'll link to for the install process, is it essentially lets you see what's behind you, as if the whole back of this massive contraption was not there. And it also lets me see, you can kind of pan down and go and look at the hitch area and make sure the bikes are still there. We often have bikes attached to the back of this. You can kind of make sure that you're not leaving anything in the road. And then when you kind of scroll it up, it gives you, again, that view as if the back of this, giant beast was not actually there. So you can see if someone's kind of hiding in your blind spot. The mirrors on the Sprinter I find work pretty well, but, it's nice to be able to give a quick glance if you're changing lanes or, if you want to see if somebody's behind you or whatnot, up into what operates essentially like an actual mirror. It also has a front-facing dash cam type deal. That doesn't work great because the Mercedes has this big old box with its own cameras for the adaptive cruise and all that stuff. But it's at least functional enough, so if something bad happened, I think we could pull the video from that. It also acts as an okay-ish mirror. You can, with one button, turn off the video feed. And, you can pan around, make sure the kids are still back there and alive, see if anything's rolling around or causing any problems. And it works much better than the wireless camera I had in here before. That one had quite a bit of latency, so the image was a little jerky. You had to wave your hand in front of it to turn it on, which seems super cool. But if you want to do a quick check of your 6 or back into something, it was a couple of second pause before the feed would actually come on, which doesn't sound like much, but if you're about to merge or turn or want to do a quick check, that can kind of become distracting. Again, I linked to the full install video if you want to see how this works. That'll vary a little bit depending on what kind of RV or van you have built on your Sprinter, but hopefully that at least gives you some tips and guidance to get you started. The other thing I added, which I really like, is this wireless Apple CarPlay adapter. And I assume they have a similar thing for Androids. I'm not an Android kind of person, so I'm not positive, but I would guess so. And basically it plugs into the USB-C port in the little hidden compartment in the dash. And I like the idea of that compartment, but find it pretty inconvenient in practical use. There's a wireless charging pad in there for your phone. It doesn't work great with my case. I find those seem to struggle a little bit when you've got a phone in a case, so hence that MagVac phone charging system. But this wireless thing plugs into the port in there, it just kind of hides out of sight, out of mind. And now when I get into my vehicle, much like my truck or some of the other vehicles I've had, my phone connects wirelessly to CarPlay. It displays on the Mercedes screen. It doesn't use the entire screen, which is a little bit of a bummer, and that's the same case if you're hardwired in there. But, it's good enough. It gets you CarPlay, gets you your Apple Maps or Waze or whatever you like to use on the screen, lets you control your Spotify and all that jazz, and overall kind of brings the whole CarPlay experience in there without having to plug in a cable. Combined with that magnetic phone charger, I really do like that ability to pop in the van if I'm just going somewhere down the street. I don't have to take it out of my pocket or anything. It connects to the display. If I'm going a little longer, I need a charger or whatnot, I drop it on that magnetic thing. I'm good to go, and it charges up pretty quickly. So those are my current mods, at least in the cockpit area. I think I might, tweak storage a little bit, but I'm overall pretty happy with the electronics. I tried to do a pretty diligent job hiding most of the wiring, and I tried to use that center cabinet as a power source for most of these other devices, since I'm not going to go in and out of there all that often. I haven't really figured out a good use for these little cubbies on the side of the dash. I do jam a couple charging cables in there. Since the world in from Apple Lightning to USB-C, I've got one of each cable. So, if my wife's here, one of my buddies is riding shotgun, they can both plug into the plugs down in the center of the Sprinter. If you've done anything super cool to your Sprinter, drop that in the comments. Probably the next big mod I might do in here is put in a two-way radio. Haven't quite decided where I'm going to put that or what that's going to look like, but stay tuned, and if you're into that kind of thing, you may see that video coming in the near future. So happy trails to you and your Sprinter. Be well, Big Heavy, and his sweaty self, signing off.